Welcome back to our weekly walkthrough where we bring the above, below, and talk about the transits you should know. So we have our week of April 20th through the 26th, and I am fresh off of meeting my new niece and ready to get back into it. It's Monday night, so we'll have a retrospective with that, but our theme for the week is the sunflower reversed. And so this, I think, is speaking a lot to the fact that Uranus is going to ingress into Gemini, where it's going to stay until it moves on out into Cancer in about 7 years. So, with that, I want you to think about what ground did you break in the Taurus area of your chart? What has changed? What has been lifted? Where are the things that felt immovable and impossible that suddenly are different? Especially because we have Venus's co-presence and she's going to escort Uranus over that sign barrier, just like she did last year for our first ingress. So there is actually kind of a sweetness here. There is this, I did that. And I want you to give yourself a moment to look for that beauty in that area of your life. And look for where the changes actually did benefit, even if there were some challenges with them. Because right now we need to stoke those fires. We need to stoke all of the things in us that keep us going through the hard times. Our retrospective for Monday gives us the Queen of Cups and the Ten of Wands reversed. And this is a day where we're really aware of a lot of the things that have been moving. And also there's some exhaustion in that. It's more emotional than it seems like maybe it should be, given all of the heat and fire of it all. But I want you to trust the intuition that's coming forward with that. Because as we move into Tuesday, we have our Gemini moon is going to sextile Chiron. And then it's going to drop over at 11 a.m. sharp Mountain Time into Cancer. We'll get a sextile with our Taurus sun, happy Taurus season, and then a square with Neptune and a trine with the North Node late at night Mountain Time. So this is going to begin kind of the crunch zone for the Cancer moon transit. It's going to hit all those Aries placements on Wednesday. But we have weird-ass mystical shit reversed. And so with this, especially with that Neptune square, this is another day where I'm going to urge that internal caution about, is it anxiety or is it intuition? Like, recognize that you may not be fully seeing clearly, but do take care of those lunar needs. Like, look to the Cancer area of your chart and be like, what needs to be fed and watered here? What needs a nap? What needs to be tended? Do I have to have this conversation now, or can I wait? Because Mercury is still a little blistered from that Mars-Saturn conjunction on Monday. And if you missed my Monday thing, I did a little side video for that, so go check that out. Wednesday, we get that crunch I was talking about, 12:30 a.m. Moon square Saturn, then 3:11 a.m. square Mars, then 5:29 a.m. square Mercury. And so for those of us in North America, maybe a little bit more in the range of sleep issues, or for the early morning folks, just, you know, if you can delay the meeting a little bit or just write down your feedback and review it before giving it, not the worst idea. For those across the pond, just really balance the impulsivity of wanting to react quickly to discomfort. Because Wednesday, we have the Seven of Cups reversed, and it's specifically one where we have all the cups are the same. And so this can feel like grinding through options and not being satisfied. It's just like, all of these are bad, but I'm going to keep going through it anyway. And so when that happens, I want you to slow down and be like, what do I actually need? Like, if none of this is hitting, then what's the missing piece? Like, am I looking for the wrong category of satisfaction to what I'm hungry for? It's kind of like when you keep eating chips and forget that you're thirsty. Like, look where you have redirected your attention that has led to dissatisfaction away from the thing that you actually want, which might be a little harder to get or take more time. Thursday, Moon square Chiron, and then we have a sextile with Venus and with Uranus, kind of a little parting sweetness before they head over, because that happens at 29 degrees Taurus and Cancer. And then we get our Leo moon, which trines Neptune, and at 7:58 p.m. we get the Venus-Uranus conjunction, which is that final farewell at the final degree of the sign. And I like it as an omen. I do. I like it as an omen. Amy Green drew my attention to it last year, I think. And it does seem to herald good things for Uranus and Gemini, but we'll see. It's still Gemini and can be tricky and full of duality. Then we have our Leo moon square sun for a nice half moon. And then Venus says goodbye, and at 10:03 p.m. jumps into Gemini right before the moon opposes Pluto. And so on Thursday we have strength reversed. And this again feels like this call for tending our vitality and like looking at areas where we felt very restrained and like we can't do what we need to do. And this is where I want you to come back to that card of the week, the sunflower reversed, and really think about like, what have I done? What have I done over the last 7 years in this Taurus area of my chart? What are the new strengths I have? What are the things that keep me going? And what are the things that stop me? And which of those things should I be keeping? And which ones should I tell to back off or like get away from me because this is not actually true and I'm holding myself back for no reason? And with that, the other like meaning of strength reverse can be like lashing out at people in a more primal way. So when you start feeling all of that irritation building up, astrologer Whitney Hill, Coburn Crescent, also brought up the need to journal right now and like put it on the page first and then come back and see, because Aries Mercury is like ready to pop off, and if we speak too quickly, you know, we can't undo that, and some of it may have lasting consequences with Saturn's co-presence. So really, when you're feeling all these different discomforts and doubt and stuff this week, put it on the page first. We jump over into Friday, and we get our second 10 of Wands for the week, except this time upright. And we have the Leo moon trine Saturn, Mars, and Mercury before going void for 26 hours. And with that, there is this arduous finish line energy. It's like, all right, we got to do it. Got to make it through. Got to find the way forward. We're almost there. Uranus is almost into Gemini. Come on. And so just don't push yourself too hard. Try and leave some gas in the tank before you get to Friday. And once you do, like, let yourself finish things. Don't start new things yet, because the urge to start them is gonna grow. Then we hit Saturday, and we have our High Priestess with the Taurus Sun square Pluto. And of course, at 6:51 p.m., Uranus moves into Gemini. And then the moon shortly after moves into Virgo and then squares Uranus, because why not? And so this is like, okay, we're gonna be stir crazy and we're gonna wanna do more, but I really encourage the wait and see. I really encourage you to think through it, feel through it, divine through it, and just cultivate that yin energy, instead of letting the haste lead you into bumps and bruises right at the beginning. Because, you know, marathon, not a sprint. I'm going to probably repeat it until I hate it with all of the fire and air era we're moving into. But pacing, pacing, pacing. Okay. Speaking of, we are cresting the end of the week with Sunday. We have our Virgo moon trine, our Taurus sun, and then opposing the North Node. Then we get Neptune and Venus in this lovely little sextile. Mercury squares Jupiter. And yeah, it's Sunday, it feels like some mixed vibes. It feels like we're having several different conversations. And with that, our card is the Five of Swords, but particularly it's a blacksmith repairing sword. So very different vibe. And I want you to think about, like, what are the ideas that you thought about discarding last year that are ready for you to readdress them? All right. As we finish out, happy week. Please let me know what you think. And as always, I love a good question. So hit me up in the comments. Great. Bye, y'all.